Distance and displacement notes and practice. So we are starting our motion unit, and one way that we can describe the motion of an object is by describing its distance and its displacement. And so I'm just going to read this and you can follow along. There are many ways to describe motion. Two ways are called distance, which I'm going to highlight blue, and displacement, which I will highlight pink. Distance describes the total amount an object has traveled. In the image below, or to the right, the biker started at A, moved to B, then went to C, where he ended. The distance traveled is the 4 meters plus the 3 meters, which adds to 7 meters. So the distance is the whole path, you could think. Displacement describes the distance between the starting and ending points only. So because the biker started at A and ended at C, his displacement is 5. So the point A is 5 meters away from point C, so that's his displacement. And so we can write this. Distance is the total amount an object has traveled. It's the whole path. Displacement describes the distance between starting and ending points. So those are our two definitions that we're working with. So now you're actually going to analyze some different diagrams and try to figure out what's the distance and what's the displacement. And so for this first one, if we're finding the distance, and we can just keep with our highlighting here, what's the distance it traveled? Again, the distance is the whole path. So a train is going to start at A, and then it goes to point B, and then point C, point D, and ending at point E. So what is the distance traveled? We would have to add these numbers together. So distance is 50 kilometers plus 100 kilometers plus 200 kilometers plus 400 kilometers. And so if you add those numbers together, 0, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 750 kilometers. And we have to include our units because we're talking about distance, and that is the unit of distance for this diagram. Other ones might have meters or even centimeters, so pay attention to what the units are so you have the right units. Okay, what's the displacement? Remember, displacement is just how far you are from where you started, so that would be 400 kilometers. The object has been displaced 400 kilometers from where it started. So pause the video and then you can go on and check to see. So pause the video, try to do numbers 2, 3, and 4 is very tricky, but try to do it, and then you can continue the video to watch the answers. Okay, so for this one, distance, the B goes 2, and then 3, and then 1, and then 4, and so that is 2, 3, 1, and 4, which this is 5, and that is 5, so it's 10 kilometers. That bee flew very far. 10 kilometers. Its displacement is how far it is from where it started, so it's 5 kilometers from where it started. The pizza delivery guy's distance. So distance, it went from A to B to C to D and ended at this house. So distance equals 8 kilometers plus 4 plus 7 plus 5. And so that is 12 and 12, which is 24 kilometers. So it traveled 24 kilometers, but it's only been displaced 5 kilometers. So hopefully you're starting to get the hang of it. And then you got to this one, and you're like, what is going on here? And so here's how you interpret this. The skier starts at A at time 0 and goes to B, so it went this far, and then at 1 minute it turned back and it went back to C, and then it went back to D. And so just like the other ones, to find distance, we got to find out the total amount that he traveled, or she. So distance, okay, so from A to B, that was 40 plus 100 plus 40. So that's 180 meters. Yeah, meters. Okay, and then from B to C, so that's 40 and 100, which is 140. And then from C to D is back 100 meters. So if you add that up, 0 to 1, and that's 420 meters. That is how far this skier actually went. What is the displacement? Well, he started at A and ends at D, and so the displacement is from point A to point D, which is 40 plus 100. So it's 140 meters. Okay, so once you finish this assignment, this was just the notes, then you can begin the assignment where you have to make up your own diagram. And so you're going to create your own diagram just like the practice worksheet. You must include pictures of the object and where they're traveling and letters. So basically, just like I did for your examples with A to B to C to D, you make up the shape, and then you have to also find the object's distance and calculation, or the displacement. It says label the lines with distances for each segment. And so if you want, you can just make lines and kind of make up the distances for each line segment. Or if you want to use a ruler and make it like a to scale model, you guys can do that too. So please get this done. If you're online, you can make a Google drawing of this with the lines and the numbers and all the calculations. If you need help with this, please let me know.